Hey guys, welcome to another Real Men podcast where we discuss real men life situations.
So, on today's topic, we're going to be talking about mental strength and resilience. Number one, how do you define mental strength and resilience in your life?
Well, I noticed that every time that I'm going through life with not enough mental strength, I start complaining about things. I start being in a bad mood, and everything starts getting out of control, and I feel like I'm out of control in life. So when I use mental strength in my brain, I feel like I have control in my life. Take care of everything I need to take care of. Mental strength for me is doing what you need to do regardless of what you feel, of how you feel, because you know deep down what you're made of, and you know what you're capable of, and you have gotten to that level, but it's hard to be at that level every single second of your life. And resilience is just the same thing. Every time you catch yourself that you're not having enough mental strength, catch yourself and just put in a bit more effort, put in more effort. Unfortunately, if you put in effort for a week or for 2 weeks or for a whole day, is not enough. It has to be a constant effort, and that's just how it is in real life.
That's true. You have a domino effect, whether it's positive or negative. But what would you say to someone that is going through hard times? They're going through a mental, emotional problems. They just feel they can't get out of the hole. They're depressed and they just have bad habits, not working out, not eating healthy, and just having negative thoughts all day long. What would you tell them?
Well, first things first is seek God, seek for Jesus. However, the spiritual life is the most important thing you can first fix in your life. As men, we gotta fix everything, right? First things first, spiritual. After that, everything will fall in place. But if you're not super spiritual, to just try to actually put effort in it. Because, for example, if someone tried to stop smoking, they're not gonna be able to stop smoking unless they really want to. So you first have to want to be that person. You first have to want to be successful. You first have to want to do the things you need to do. And if you can't find the motivation within you, then you're doomed. You're doomed. You have to just do it. And what I would say to a person like that, do the best of their ability, do to the best to their capacity, to their brain capacity, to their physical capacity. Actually put effort in your life. And like how David said, it's a domino effect. If you're doing positive things every single day, it's gonna be a moment where you're gonna have wins. You're gonna have to win. You're gonna have to have a win. At any given moment in time, you're going to win. But if you don't do the things you need to do, and you need to do them, eventually you're going to lose.
Can you share a specific moment where mental strength played a crucial role?
I think every day in my life, every moment in my life, mental strength plays a crucial role in my life. It's, even for example, right now, I don't have enough mental strength. I'm not going to provide enough value, right? Because I'm just gonna try to go off on my emotions, and I'm going off on my brain, on calculated thoughts, on what I'm saying, so that I can actually bring value, right? And well, mental strength is every single time. For example, when I decided to start making these podcasts, when I decided to start recording, there was that seed of, and everything can go wrong. If we invest in this, our time, our money, our effort, it can all go wrong. We can look like clowns. And that mental strength that I had within me of being able to see the possibilities is what made me be able to actually do this podcast and sit on this chair every single Saturday.
You're supposed to have the willpower to overcome any obstacles that come your way, and I guess from what you're saying is pretty much trying to be optimistic as possible, and just do whatever you have to do, and have faith that everything will come out the way you plan it to.
Yeah, of course, and optimism comes from mental strength,
Okay.
and having faith comes from mental strength. What practices or routines contribute to your mental well-being and resilience?
Maybe a lot of people don't want to hear about gym or working out, but I think this is the most as close as it gets to being mentally and physically strong. Working out definitely plays a huge role on your mental health and your mental strength. By going against the current and doing things that you hate to do will build muscle in your brain as well as in your body to keep pushing. It will help you overcome a lot of things in your life. So I would say the gym, because sometimes there's a lot of times that you don't want to go, you don't want to wake up early, or you don't want to go in the afternoon because you're tired, you had a long day. And if you make the effort to bypass all the bad things, all the stress. And once you go, you feel completed, you feel accomplished, and that's something that happens every single day. So that's an instant gratification on a daily. So by doing that every day, you're putting in the reps, and that would help you feel better.
So you use mental strength to be consistent, and he uses the gym, exercising, right, to keep. Those are the routine. Those are the practices you do that contribute to your mental well-being and resilience.
Yeah, and also I think sometimes you have to brainwash yourself to a certain extent. For example, if you don't know too much about David Goggins, I definitely recommend you to look into him. It's not also about just seeing the videos or seeing the information. It's also about taking action. Find a way to motivate yourself, and by hearing those type of talks and conversations, you in a way brainwash yourself to keep going at it.
Yeah, guys, come on, guys. You gotta motivate yourself with successful people. Just look at us. We're living life. Recording on a Saturday night while everyone is out there partying. No, we're over here working hard. All right, how do you approach overcoming self-doubt or negative thoughts?
Depending on your experience, I would say just remember that you've overcome so many obstacles, you've done so many things in your life. So sometimes you just have to trust yourself that you're the shit and that you're able to overcome and conquer whatever you want. So that helps you, so you don't have self-doubt or negative thoughts. And by doing this, the more that you do this, the more that you fail, the stronger you'll get, and it'll be easier for you to be more confident about anything that you do.
Can you discuss the impact of a resilient mindset on your decision making? Have to be resilient. Do not give up. I believe in you. I believe in Jesus first and foremost, but I also believe in you, that you're able to achieve your dream.
Don't give up. Just keep making the best decisions that you possibly can. We're always going to mess up. We're always going to make bad decisions thinking we made the right decision, but that's just part of life. You have to fail and keep trying, fail and keep trying. As long as you do your best to try to correct and go get back on the right path, I think you're doing the best thing that you possibly can. I mean, we're not all perfect, so we have to just find a way to always be better every single day. Share insights into the connection between mental strength and goal achievement.
I think there's a very big connection there. If you don't have mental strength, you're not going to achieve your goals. Because personally, me, I've had moments where I can take months to achieve something that when I really focus on it, I take weeks or I take days to get it done, right? So if I don't have mental strength, my days are just gonna go by. My hours, my weeks, my months, they're gonna go by. I'm not gonna do anything with my life. But if I have enough mental strength to actually conquer the day and win the day, then it's gonna add up and I'm gonna achieve my goals way faster. So there's definitely 100% a connection between having mental strength and achieving your goals. Right?
How do you handle setbacks and failures in a way that builds resilience?
I put systems in place. My system in place within me, within my heart, within my brain is saying, because if I try to do it differently every single time, it's gonna be difficult. So whenever I have a setback or whenever I have difficulties or challenges, I do it the same way every single time. Let's say, for example, I have a challenge or a difficulty or a setback, what my brain automatically says, what do I have to do? What do I have to do to fix it? What do I have to do? What's next? And that's it, you know?
So can you discuss the role of self-compassion in maintaining mental strength?
Oh yeah, that's easy. Self-compassion is when you tell yourself, man, you're really messing up. What are you doing? Everything is getting out of control. You can't handle your life. And then you just think about it and you're like, it's okay, man. You're
that second voice.
Yeah, that second voice is just like, look, you're already more successful than 80% of the population in this world. Realistically speaking, you look around yourself and unfortunately, you're better off than 80% of the people around you. And you gotta be grateful. And that's the self-compassion that I'm like, look, money is just a number. It's a tool for us to experience better things in life and more quality things, but at the end of the day, the values and the person you are is what should matter to you. And as long as you keep being that person, even though there's a setback or you did something wrong, you gotta recognize and you gotta be grateful for who you are and what you have in that moment. And I think that's the best compassion you can have instead of destroying yourself.
Yeah, and I think we have a lot of different voices in our heads that we have to also talk to ourselves. And sometimes it's funny that sometimes we give the best advice to others, but we give shitty advice to ourselves.
Exactly.
And sometimes I feel that whenever you give advice to others, the same advice that you give to others, you should take it into consideration to yourself and take action upon what you think. Having those second voices in your head help you grow, and you're pretty much your best friend in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on the circle that you have around you, you could have some negative and people that envy you. So you just have to be careful with what your second voice tells you as well, because it could make you better or make you worse.
How do you balance vulnerability with maintaining mental toughness? Oh, that's a good question.
Same thing like going to the gym. Being vulnerable will help you to maintain your mental toughness by showing up and showing out. If you feel that you're weak-minded, a certain day you're not feeling it, you feel emotional, you feel stressed, you feel like down, you sometimes have to beat yourself up in the sense of, in my case, I would say going to the gym, beating myself up, pushing extra hard and just grinding and going against the current. I feel by doing that, once you're done with your routine, that will make you feel a lot stronger. And at the same time, you're being vulnerable and you're also making yourself strong at the same time.
Because you showed up when you were weak.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it's a lot easier just to quit, and it's a lot easier just to not go. But those are the most important times where you have to do it, so that way that builds your character, and you're pretty much growing within and without. Share a story where resilience helped you navigate a challenging situation.
And remember, guys, resilience is the power of keep going regardless of what happens in the great scheme of things. The story of my life, where I was a youngster, I was rebellious, I did not have a path. I always believed in myself, which is part of having resilience. Believing in yourself, pushing through regardless of how many times you messed up, regardless of how many times you did the things wrong, you damaged those around you. Regardless of that, you pushed through, you had resilience, and look at me now, I was resilient enough to go through the worst moments of my life, and now I'm here enjoying life, being successful, working hard for more. In what ways has mental strength positively influenced your professional life?
As a barber, I think we live through that every single day. Being an entrepreneur, being a barber helps you build a thicker skin. You have a lot of ups and downs. It's a roller coaster, so you have a lot of good days, a lot of bad days. So you always have to find ways to keep pushing through. We know at the end of the tunnel there's a light. You just have to, in a way, adapt. You have to enjoy the low moments as well as enjoy the high moments. So I think it's just a matter of just keep pushing.
Can you discuss the importance of adaptability in building resilience? Is it important or not?
Yeah, of course. We have to, that's what I was saying earlier. We have to adapt to change. Change is going to become your best friend. The only thing that is guaranteed in this life is that things are constantly going to be changing, whether it's in your professional life, your personal life. We have to adapt to change. Then the sooner that we find a way to cope with that, I think the easier it will be on us and the less stress that we will have in the long run.
Okay, how do you manage stress and maintain mental clarity during busy times?
We're going back to my same answer. Gym. Exercising, release all that tension, release all that stress. Maybe reading a book or doing a little bit of meditation, breathing exercises. And something that helps me to relax before I go to sleep is to drink tea. 12 flowers is a tea that relaxes your nervous system and you fall into a deeper sleep. So it's a combination of different things that you need to have in your life, small habits that make a big impact. Share insights into the relationship between gratitude and mental well-being.
If you have $1 million and you're not grateful for it, you're gonna be the same miserable person from when you had zero. A lot of people say that money doesn't buy happiness. I believe strongly that you're happier when you have money. However, if you're not grateful, you're going to be miserable. And that miserable is going to affect your mental strength, and you're not going to figure out why you can't get the things you need to get done. And it's because you feel like you have nothing and you feel like you're not progressing because you're not grateful of what you have.
Being grateful of all your achievements, regardless of how small they are, I think it goes a long way. I think it's a really good habit. It's a really good value to have in your life. Being grateful and enjoying the process of where you're at and where you want to be. Once you achieve whatever you're chasing, the satisfaction is going to be a lot better. How do you approach building mental strength in the face of uncertainty?
I have faith. First things foremost, I have faith. I have faith in my God, and my God from the Bible. He's the creator of the earth. He's the creator of the heavens, of you, of me, of our spirit, of our flesh, of all material things. He created them through a person like you and me.
I think that sums that question. I mean, what you just said, faith. We have to have faith. I mean, I think that's like the number one. Like whatever you believe in, you have to have faith that everything's going to be okay. And if you don't, you're going to have a snowball of stress and anxiety, because we can't control everything. We have to let God guide us through the hardships. It says in the Bible that He wants us to talk to Him. He wants us to give Him all our stress, all our problems, and He's going to hold that weight. So,
exactly. Well, can you describe a specific mental health practice that benefits you? Back at it again.
Damn, back at it with this mental illness.
Mental illness. Can you describe what mental illness you have?
So this is the second voice that I'm talking about. You have to be the one to motivate yourself. You have to be the one to talk to yourself that everything's going to be okay, that you're going to push yourself. I've worked on this, I would say in my entire life. Anytime that I'm going through a hardship, I'm finding ways to tell myself that things are going to turn out good, and find ways to be positive about whatever you have going on.
How do you foster a growth mindset in challenging situations?
I would say just get it done. Thinking is also a disease in a way that it paralyzes you and it stops you from doing things that you're supposed to do. Sometimes it's just as easy as just getting up and just do whatever you have to do and stop thinking about it too much. As soon as you get the ball rolling, as soon as you start, it will domino into whatever else you got going on.
Take action.
Yeah, take action. It happens to me all the time. There's things that I have to do at the house. Sometimes it's just a matter of just saying, fuck it, get up, and just do it. That's it. Regardless of how tired, how stressed, how cold, how hot it is, just take action. Share the role of self-reflection in developing mental resilience.
We all have that second voice inside us. We all have that third and that fourth voice. Some voices are stronger, some voices are better, some voices are negative, some voices are positive. You have to self-reflect on that and feed the one that you want to grow in, and really use the one that's going to benefit you in the moment. My brother's dog or cat died, and my brain is telling me like, okay, life goes on, life continues, and we gotta be strong as men, and let's continue. Whatever, it was just an animal, and let's be tough and let's be strong, because that's who we are as men. Then I think the better voice within me, it should be like, I should pay attention to the voice that tells me, brother, I'm very sorry for your loss, and I'm here for you. And you just gotta self-reflection, reflect on your different voices you have, and take the best decision you can.
Yeah, listen to the voice of empathy.
And you gotta know whether or not, when something is not worth it and when something is actually important to someone. Something might not be important to you, it might be important to someone, and you gotta analyze it as well. And sometimes you gotta wake them up and make them realize that it's not important. But when you do know, when you put yourself in their place, you can really analyze that aspect.
Can you discuss the importance of setting boundaries for mental well-being?
Yeah, it goes back to what I was saying. I love working. Working is my hobby. I love the fact that I can say I'm working whenever someone calls me, hey, what you doing? Oh, working, just working. I love saying that I'm working, and I love feeling that I'm working and that I'm building something within me.
How do you support others in building their mental strength and resilience?
I try to be my best version as possible. The best version I can be, the best person I can be. And that includes a list of things. That includes being respectful. That includes supporting their beliefs. That includes, just being my best self that I can be. Simply automatically helps the other person push their boundaries and also be the best person they can be. When you see that they're messing up, you gotta tell them. And when you see that they're doing something good, you gotta respect it, and you gotta acknowledge it, and you gotta admire it, and stop being an envious person. Share a specific strategy for maintaining focus and concentration.
Number one, your cell phone. Sometimes I feel that I get stuck on things that I have to complete, and sometimes you get stuck on your phone. Putting your phone on flight mode or just on silent so that way you don't hear your notifications definitely helps me to focus.
How do you approach building mental strength in a team or collaborative setting?
Just my family, trying to, my wife and kids and my brother-in-law is finding a way to maybe motivate ourselves and be as optimistic as possible. Just support whatever we have going on. Share insights into the connection between physical activity and mental resilience.
Back at it again with the physical activity questions. Gym, exercise. You have to exercise, guys. You have to exercise. There's just, regardless if you're a millionaire, a billionaire, regardless if you have all the amounts of money in the world, you're gonna die soon if you don't exercise, if you don't have physical activities, if you don't get the sun. You're not gonna have that peak performance in your life. And I'm not talking about having results. I'm just talking about that peak performance of actually living life, of having that satisfaction within you, of gratitude and of happiness and of self-fulfillment. I mean, it's just having physical activity. It has a very, very strong connection. There's a very strong connection between being physically active and I bet you anything that person that sleeps throughout the whole day and the person, they can have the same lifestyle, but maybe just one day one person sleeps for the whole day and another person went to the park and did some exercise and started doing chores and was physically active throughout the whole day, washing the car, whatever, etc. At the end of the day, at the night, that person that slept all day is going to be grouchy, is going to have no purpose in life, and the person that was physically active throughout the whole day is going to be happy, is going to go to sleep content. They're going to wake up with the mental strength for the week.
Yeah, they felt satisfied about what they did and they felt accomplished. I mean, we're all getting weaker or stronger every single day. So every single day, if your goal was to eat less junk food, either you're getting weaker or stronger every single day by eating the junk food or choosing not to eat it, and you're building that inner character that will help you grow mentally and physically. And you describe a specific challenge where maintaining mental strength was crucial.
I work in sales, and if I don't have mental strength, I'm gonna talk about a specific moment. For example, a lady calls in and tells me, "Hey, I'm just calling. You're probably a scam. You're more than likely a scam, but I want to know what this is about." 70% of my calls that are like that, I tell them, if you think this is a scam, don't be calling this number. You're gonna if I think something is a scam, I'm not gonna call that phone number. Use common sense. That's 70% of the time I answer like that. And the other 30% of the time, when I actually have mental strength and I actually put a lot of effort into it, I'm like, no, this is not a scam. This is what we do. This is what we're here for. This is what we stand for. And it's not a scam. I 100% guarantee you it's not a scam. You will get what we're offering. You will get the result. Obviously, I use my sales techniques and what I've learned in my life experience about sales and my strategies that I use to sell. And I just use my mental strength to actually overcome any objection or any challenge that the person brings me through the phone. And that's just more money to me because I made more sales. And the days that I'm not feeling it, I just let those calls go. Oh well, if you don't want it, then why are you calling, right? And the days that I do have mental strength, I actually try hard and I put effort into it, and I make maybe 5 or 10 more sales that day. Discuss the impact of gratitude on your overall mental health.
I think, we talked about this earlier, but yes, showing gratitude for everything that you have, for being alive, for having food on the table, for being the person that you are, for overcoming whatever obstacles you overcame. You have to be grateful for everything that you have. You have to sometimes take a couple steps back and analyze your situation, analyze how far you have came. And I feel that by doing that, it will make you feel a lot better. It would empower you to keep pushing. And because it's easy to get lost in the matrix. It's easy to get lost in the social media facade of Instagram. You see everyone sharing the best moments or the best cars, pictures, or whatever it may be, and you reflect on your own unconsciously, and that could make you feel some type of way. You always have to remember that you have no competition. It's you versus you, and if you are in a better position now that you were a year ago, you made it. You just have to keep going and focus on on you. That's it. How do you handle criticism or setbacks without compromising mental strength? That's good. If you have a bad setback or you have people that criticize you,
bad criticism,
you might have play in your head like a broken record, and you might keep thinking of, oh, they said this or this happened, and you can't get over the fact of whatever happened, and it's just a vicious circle. So how do you handle to break that shit and push through it?
I try almost all the time to just take it the most positive way as possible. There are moments where maybe I'm in a bad mood and I might be like, oh man, this happened. Oh, come on, man. I'm like, man, again, this, me, over here, me. But most of the time, I'm like, okay, yeah, I mean, what do I have to do? What do I have to do? What's next? Okay, how do I solve it? How do I fix it? Let me get it done. Let me get it fixed. All right, fixed, boom, next problem, next opportunity.
I think the best way to approach that is by not ignoring it, because if you ignore it, it's still going to be stuck in there, and it's, some days it's going to come back to haunt you. So if you have to acknowledge the situation, acknowledge whatever you went through, cope with it, and just let it be, and just tell yourself that it's not the end of the world. We're lucky to be alive. Just push through it and go after it, and that's it. Share a moment where a setback became an opportunity for mental growth.
I used to work physically at a warehouse. However, my parents had a little life situation where I had to live at home. And I was like, what can I do so I can get a job from home? And I started looking into that opportunity. I actually started teaching English to Asian kids from Japan and China, etc. And I loved working from home. I got a sales job from home. I started studying how to make sales. Right now I'm the top producer at my job. And that setback where I had to leave my city where I was at, I loved that city where I live. And that setback I had, that I had to stay at home and be with my parents and be with my family and start from zero again. That setback introduced me to the work from home world, and now I love working from home. I make money from home. I don't have to use gas money. I don't have to spend 2 hours on traffic every single day back and forth. And that and what does mental growth have to do with this? That I know how to sell now, all because I started working from home. I got into it. I put in effort. I put in work, and now I know how to sell. Now I have sales techniques. I have sales strategies. I'm a great salesperson. I'm a great closer, and that would have never happened if I would have never had that setback, and I would have had to move out from the warehouse. Can you discuss the importance of balance in maintaining mental resilience?
The mind control, everything. You definitely have to find a way to maintain your mental health, whether you work out, whether you read a book, you go out for a jog, you meditate, you do yoga. Whatever you need to do it, so you could have that mental strength. And I mean, to each his own. You'll find a way to get there. For everyone, it might be different. Having a balance is definitely important, so you don't drive yourself crazy.
You can be great at certain areas in your life, but you don't pay attention to others. You're not gonna have a mental resilience of actually being able to cope with everything around you. And that's why you need balance in every aspect of your life: family, gym, professional life, right?
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
How do you approach mental resilience when facing unexpected change?
I would say by adapting to change and finding a way to cope with it, and telling yourself that whenever things go a different way that you plan, that's okay. Even though sometimes we feel that we have control of a lot of things that we do, we have to remind ourselves that we're human beings. We have to just go with the flow, and sometimes things might turn out different, and just enjoy the ride. Of your life, because that's the only thing that will continue to happen. There will always be change in life. We're going to get stronger. It's not going to get easier. As you get older, as you have a family, as your parents age, as you age, health, everything in general will change. So you have to adapt and just get stronger. Share insights into the role of mindfulness in building mental strength.
When you're being mindful about something, it's when you're thinking about it, right? So I guess mindfulness is about thinking about everything. And I think, however, it is 100% more important to take action than to just think things. However, before you take action, there's that 5 or 10 seconds or one millisecond before you take action. You already thought about it. You already saw yourself doing it, and I think that has to do with the fact that when you think about doing something, you're already like, oh, I have to do this. So when you think that you have to do something, when you have to take a certain action, instead of saying that, you say, oh yes, I get to do this. I have the opportunity to do this. And I think having that, thinking about it that way, will give you the enough power and the enough gratefulness and for you to take action. Can you describe the daily habit that contributes to your mental well-being?
Well, for a lot of people, it might be different. For me, I'm going back to the gym conversations, but definitely going to the gym plays a huge factor in my mental health and mental strength. By going against the current, showing up, pushing your body to the limit, definitely helps me feel accomplished, and it helps me grow physically and especially mentally.
How do you approach building mental strength in the midst of a crisis? You know, a crisis is like a challenge, but like 100% harder.
Well, for me, I think sometimes we have to get used to being uncomfortable. You have to be comfortable getting uncomfortable. So if you didn't understand that, repeat it one more time. You have to get comfortable feeling uncomfortable. So the sooner that you put yourself in situations where you feel uncomfortable and you start to get comfortable, the easier it will get. And over time, you will get stronger, and it'll be easier to give that presentation. It'll be easier to talk in front of the public, and just whatever fear you have, being in situations where it puts you in a situation where you feel anxiety, you feel nervous, doing those type of things will help you grow in so many different ways.
Acknowledging that being uncomfortable is okay, and that it's part of a process to grow.
Yeah, exactly, and we all go through it. So the sooner you know that we all have our insecurities and we all have the emotion of being nervous, and acknowledging that it's normal, the sooner that you do that, the easier it will become. Remember that your brain is programmed for you to avoid situations that feel uncomfortable. It works like that. So the sooner that you find a way to hack in and let yourself know that it's okay, it's going to work in your favor. Because if you put yourself in uncomfortable situations, the brain will automatically tell you, get out of there, you're going to embarrass yourself, it's going to be overwhelming, you're going to stress out, and sometimes you have to push yourself through that to overcome and become the person that you want to become.
Can you share advice for someone struggling with mental health challenges?
Yeah, something that has helped me, I would say doing the same way that you fast with food, where you could do a 16-8, 16 hours without eating, and then you have an 8-hour window to eat. I would also say by doing a social media detox also helps. By doing a month, you could start maybe first with the 3 weeks, and a month, 2 months, 3 months. Having a social detox, staying away from all social media platforms, including YouTube, TikTok, everything that's involved with social media, I think helps you to get back on track with your mental health. And also by going out for a walk, reading books, all that dopamine will kick in and will make you start feeling back to the person that you were.
Yeah, that TikTok brain, I hate that TikTok brain. I start noticing whenever I start watching TikTok videos and I start scrolling, I catch myself. I'm like, I feel like my brain is fried when I start watching YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels or anything like that. I feel like my brain is fried, and then I stopped scrolling through TikTok or through Facebook videos for like a week or two, and I feel great and I feel wonderful. Obviously, don't stop scrolling through our page, because whatever we tell you is valuable to your life, actually. Yeah, those little dumb videos about people dancing, they're not valuable to you.
Yeah, it could give you a headache, and sometimes those are shitty dopamine hits that you're getting instantly by doing that. And I'm not saying I don't do it, but I'm saying that I try to watch the people that I follow and the things that I watch.
Exactly.
And I also try to balance it so that way I'm not on it all the time, you know?
Yeah, stop following dumb stuff.
Share a specific strategy for maintaining a positive mindset in challenging times.
It doesn't take you months and years and decades for you to become that person that is happy, or that person that is smiling, or that person that has a great attitude. You can be that person right now. Even if you're struggling, even to pay the bills, even if you're barely starting out in life, you can still be that person, and that's gonna catapult you to greatness, because no one cares about your problems, no one cares about your daily life, no one cares about what you're going through. Everyone is living their own life, everyone is the main character in their own life. And the fact that you think that you are the main character in everyone else's life, and you're mad and you're mad and you're sad and you treat them like shit just because you're having a bad day, they don't care. They're gonna treat you like that. However, if you're barely starting out, you want to be successful, why not just be the best version you can be at the moment? You're gonna keep growing, and you're not gonna be 1 year from now, you're gonna be better than you are today. However, today you can be the best person you can be today. And that's just a positive strategy of just understanding that you can be the best version right now.
How do you incorporate moments of joy and relaxation into your routine for mental resilience?
I used to get bored when I read the Bible. I used to fall asleep when I read the Bible, but now that I'm an adult, now that I know that I need God and His power, I love reading the Bible. I love learning about God's power and His strength and what He's capable of and what He's done throughout history in this earth. And for me, a really big, strong joy comes out of me, of my heart, when I read the Bible for like 30 minutes or for like a whole hour. Because if I feel like I just read 1 page or 2 pages, I feel like I didn't do anything, because it's just those standards I have on which I don't want to just learn a little bit. I want to learn a lot, and I want to be a lot, and I want to know a lot about God. So when I read the Bible for at least 30 minutes or an hour, for me, that's just saying like, okay, I got my priorities in place, and that gives me joy, and that gives me relaxation, and that gives me a sense of saying that, okay, I'm just gonna keep working hard, and I have my priorities in place, you know?
Yeah, you feel accomplished.
Yeah.
You feel accomplished because if you read 1 page and you know you've done it before and you read more, you will feel that you're doing it halfway. You're not doing as much effort as you know you can. So I'm pretty obviously that's your second voice that comes into play, telling you that, come on, bro, you could do more. Just 1 page.
Exactly.
So that's good. That's pushing yourself to the limits that you know that you're capable of.
Yeah.
That's the same thing that happens for me with the gym. Like sometimes if I work out and I feel like I didn't push all the way, I know when I have those days, and that second voice kicks in and telling you, come on, you could do more than that, and you either decide to listen to it or to ignore it.
Yeah,
And most
absolutely.
of the time, I listen to it.
Yeah, and for me it's the Bible, for him it's the gym, and for you it could be for you it could be anything else, like learning something or working hard, or you know you can work more, you know you can make money, do it, you know, why stop, and why go for little, you know?
Yeah, whatever it is, you have to work on that second voice. You have to train that second voice to push you and conquer whatever it is you want to achieve. That is, what legacy or impact do you hope to leave through your journey of mental resilience?
Well, I hope I don't die soon, and I hope none of my family members around me die soon. So when I answer this question, it's obviously towards my kids or towards my grandkids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I would love to leave that legacy of he was a hard worker. He always believed in God and Jesus Christ. He always took care of us, and it's just that manliness and that manly figure, that father, that grandfather, that didn't fall into the wokeness and all that dumb stuff about being woke, and just having them be like, oh, you know, he was extreme. He always went to the extreme. He wasn't never in the middle, gray. He was always either white or black. and he was very consistent with his beliefs, and he was powerful with his beliefs, and he did not care about anyone, whether the matrix doesn't want you to talk about God, whether it's the system that wants you to fail and that wants to keep you poor as a slave. I want that legacy and instill within my kids and my grandkids that it's always worth it to fight for what you believe, and that it's worth it, and that money isn't evil, that money is awesome, money is a great tool, and it does bring you happiness, and you can achieve success, and you will achieve success if you work hard and you're consistent. And but to have their priorities in place, they were able to look up to someone that guided them towards God and not towards destruction.
Okay, good answer. All right, so that was it for today's topic, mental strength and resilience.
Thank you for tuning in, guys, for the weekly podcast. Every Saturday night we record. The video gets uploaded more than likely on Mondays. However, if you don't see us, just go ahead and send us a message. Drop a follow, drop a like. If it's the first time seeing us, follow us. If you want to keep watching more insights, more videos, more valuable insights into a life of real men, and stuff of value that we will be instilling within you for your life. Take action, guys, and peace out.
See you guys next time.